protein intake. I can squat 250. I've written 2 books and speak 3 different languages.
That all you have to bring to a relationship is financial. Up and says, well, I have finances. What else do you have? And they don't have anything else.
It's going to be very, very hard for most women to find a man that's actually on her level because the feminine far supersedes the masculine.
Girls with nothing to offer, get them out.
I think it is a lot harder to date as a woman high earner. And
you're describing a man, and men don't want to date men.
I don't understand why you wouldn't want a woman like me. I am the table. Why you wouldn't want a woman like me. I am successful, I'm rich, I can fight. If you can't be with my peace, you can be with the door. Oh, you're in your masculine area. Well, why don't you get in yours? Sick of men telling me, oh, well, you know, you hardcore. Yes, I am. Well, I am the table.
Yeah, she's saying all the wrong things, and is apparent. Why you single? The question that she asked at the beginning, she don't understand why she's single. You just explain why you single. Everything was a role of a man. A man is masculine. A man is a provider. She said, "I got money. That's a man's job." Those are 3 things that women look for in a man. She didn't name a quality that a man will look for in a woman. At the end of the day, you're describing a man, and men don't want to date men.
I think they were scared to state the obvious. I think you're a funny lady, but you look like a man.
I am the table.
You look like a man. S&V too low. And also, you too old.
Real talk alert.
Gum left on bottom of shoe. What else they say? Left in the back of the Cracker Jack box. Leftover woman. Chongya.
The harsh reality that most of y'all are not ready to hear is the fact that most women are not going to find a man on their level. Because for a lot of women, you all think of level as just finances, right? That's just the start, okay? Because I'm not a big Bible person, but they do talk about in the Bible being equally yoked. Most men internally are broken. So even though you could be matched to match with a man in finances, men are fractured internally. And most of the time, that is what's going to be the union between a woman and a man, is a man's internal. Because you and him, let's start from the beginning. Men under patriarchy already see women as inferior. So that's the first thing. Men are not looking at you as their equal to begin with. They see you beneath them.
Can't make this up.
So that's the first thing. Men have a lot of cognitive dissonance because under patriarchy, they are taught to see women less than, but in their everyday lived experience, they are seeing women be superior to men. Because we get more compliments, we get more perks in life, we get more benefits in life, we get more advantages in life. And so this is what creates a lot of jealousy in men. So you could be making $300,000 a year, and he could be making $300,000 a year. But guess who ain't about to get a ton of compliments out in public? Him. Guess who is not going to get noticed more when you all are out and about? Him. Who's going to get questioned most likely? Well, how did you get them? How did you get her? Him. Because women are the prize. Men are questioned when it comes to how they got a woman in their proximity. No one asks a woman, well, how did you get him? No. People ask men that. Because men are not the gatekeepers and men don't have the value. Everyone is always going to question a man and say, how'd you get a woman that looks that good? How were you able to pull that off? Even when they have money. I cannot tell you how many men have money and they have a very hard time being with a woman, even on their level financially, because emotionally and mentally, they are not on the level of women because the woman is big, the woman is powerful, the woman is a force to be reckoned with. And most men are not ready for that. Most men are not prepared and equipped to take on the things that come along with the divine feminine. women still have it normalized in their mind that they're supposed to be underneath men.
No. Wait a minute. She's coming across like men actually care. Men don't care, but I'm gonna let her finish though.
And that they're supposed to be meek and docile and very feminine and very soft. Men know that that's not women's nature. The feminine is bold. The feminine is brazen. The feminine takes no prisoners. You have to feel comfortable around the feminine. So it's going to be very, very hard for most women to find a man that's actually on her level.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you,
we don't care.
Because the feminine far supersedes the masculine. Far supersedes the masculine. And not a whole lot of men are willing to put in the work that it requires to meet up to the level of the feminine.
Wow. Look, what she said, I don't even need to rebut that, right? Because I'm going to have this brother do it. He's been doing it for so long, for so many years. And the explanation he's going to give to that is going to have you guys like, wow, you know who it is. Let's watch.
Successful I've become, the less that men seem to want to date me.
Because you are too expensive.
For those of you who are further along in your careers,
these are, of course, just euphemisms. Success and career means income and status.
I always get told that I am too intimidating.
There's another one, intimidating. I don't think I've ever looked at a woman and said, I am afraid because you are good at things. What I am afraid of is that you are going to want to do something that costs $3,000, and I don't have $3,000.
Just because I am a strong, independent woman doesn't mean that I want to be that in every single category of my life.
Are women still calling themselves that? I thought strong, independent woman had become a meme. I guess the girl who's happy with a coffee date is weak and dependent.
Because I'll tell you, I'm exhausted.
Oh my god, me too. And what I'm exhausted from is these word games. Women don't always say what they mean. They say I'm strong and independent. They say I want a man who is ambitious and has a successful career. They'll even say, I don't care if you have money, but then they want to do things that cost money. I once dated an older woman, and right away I told her I don't have any money, and she said that was not a problem. About 3 weeks later, it had become a problem. She said some unkind things about me not having my life together. She just kept ordering food. I was like, I don't have $50. This happened with another girl when I couldn't pay a parking meter. I'm not kidding when I say I've been broke. I actually had another girl ask me out, and when I said yes, she just started listing off her demands. Dinner, drinks, movie, it was like $400. Men know that most women have requirements for money, and the more success you have, the more money you require from us. It's just simple math. The farther you go in this direction, the fewer men there are that can make you happy. And some women don't care about money, that's true, but some of them say they don't, and then they do, and I'm pretty tired of that.
When I go on first dates, I try really hard to not talk too much about my job.
Talk about it more. I once went out with a girl who said on the first date that she made $90,000 a year and needed a man who made twice that. And I said, well, why did you go out with me? And she said, I wanted to see what you had going on. And I said, do you like it? And she said, I don't see a future. That hurt way less than this. She said it was okay. Instead of using these buzzwords, just tell men what you're looking for. And if you can't find it, maybe it's because you priced yourself out.
Wow. Now, that right there, wasn't that the perfect answer to the video before? It was, because he's been through it. Hell, a lot of us have been through it. And men are getting tired of it. That's why men are saying, no mas. Why? Because understand something. A man doesn't want your money. This is what happens. So-called high-value women value everything that keeps their value low. And men don't want money. Men don't want you ladies with money because it's a nightmare. Get lost.
I'm rich on my own, not without no partner, so I can date who I want because
that comes with the freedom of being able to like the person. Bitches be out here dating niggas with money, don't even like them. Yes. And now you're not happy. What's the point of being with somebody if you're not genuinely happy?
Marketplace value. Are you before the wall or are you after the wall? When you are danger zone, the danger zone is near wall and after wall. 30 years old, you are the wall. I don't care if black don't crack. You're still over 30. You're past the wall. What is your SMV? What is your wall status? The older you get, the more competition you have. You have more competition because there is a woman turns 23 every day. You got more competition. And you happen to be older and more set in your ways. So the likelihood of you getting what you want becomes far more the exception than the norm. And the probability drops. Why is this important? Because if modern women really, really, truly moved in the dating world like reality, in line with reality, we wouldn't have anything to talk about.
An average black woman, the average black man in this country earns $41,500 for a lifetime. No more, no less. No Herculean methods, no lottery, no businesses. That's what he's going to make. That's your husband.
But what if I have degrees?
Thank you. See? I want you guys to understand. She just asked me. And I told her, what is a woman has her SMV. Now, these women actually think because they can make themselves higher SMV because of a degree. That does not work. Men have never picked women based upon your degree. That is why you could be on fries at McDonald's, but if you look like Kelly Rowland, you can marry a millionaire.
And as you see, women value everything that keeps their value low. And they have the attitudes, the bad attitudes that make it even lower. This girl, she's confused. She's young. She was told by grandma, you go get that degree, baby. Don't let no man tell you not to get your degree. That's how they said it. So, get your degree. You go and get that now. Grandma lied to you. Or your mama wants you to do that because she wasn't able to do it. I've had scenarios like that. I've been with girls, mama, oh, go and get that degree. Or you with a West Indian girl, always, they big, oh, go and get that degree. But it doesn't do anything for you, especially for men. Men don't see any value. You see what Whole Map said.
This before, and people didn't like it too much, like men in particular. But I do think it is a lot harder to date as a woman high earner, and especially as a black woman high earner.
Let me tell you the issue this young lady is currently having when it comes to dating. In her video, she stated that she wants a man that makes over $200,000 per year. The percentage of men in the United States that makes over $200,000 per year is extremely small. Those men have way more options when it comes to dating than she does. So, because of her success, she only wants to date men that makes around what she makes or more. Those men are okay with dating women that make way less than them. And the reason for that is we look for opposite things when it comes to dating. And it amazes me the amount of people that don't understand this. She's effectively become the men that she want to date. In order to be that successful, you have to be assertive, you have to be strong-minded, very opinionated, and dominant. The men are the same way. So if you get in a relationship with them, it's going to be way too much conflict going back and forth. Men aren't looking for that. Successful men are not looking to date themselves. Now, I'm not saying her accomplishments are not important. Obviously, they can be. But you first have to meet the requirements that triggers the attraction to begin with. Think about it this way. If I told you, hey, there's this guy, he's successful, he's loving, he's emotionally intelligent, and he will be there for you in every single way. But he's 5'6". You get my point.
You made a great point. 5'6", they're going to tell you to kick rocks. But I saw this video from this lady before, right? What she doesn't understand is the men that she sees as qualified. Oh, girls they can get. These men, if you want a man that makes over 200,000, these airhead, bubblehead girls that think about what men make, that's the number they always say. So these men are right in that number. So all of the airheads they can get, and I hate to say it, right? Sometimes those guys want that airhead, right? Especially if she's feminine, fit, and friendly. Sexual market value, Mr. Samuels, who was the godfather, is so right. He's been telling you ladies for years, actually giving you a warning, but you don't care. And still, it's gotten to the point, now he's not around, they didn't even see it. You have some ladies that see it. Some ladies, they regurgitate what he said, but most, oh, that guy was disrespectful. Or other men, guys like me, oh, that guy's disrespectful. Even guys like him, he's not even bashing nobody. I bash a little bit, I do. Right? I had to. But look, things need to change. And what's going on nowadays? Now you get that degree, you can't even do anything with it. Because DEI is finito. So those hires, those diversity hires that made a company look good, is all done. And I don't want things like that to happen. I don't want to see people struggle. While the man is struggling, give the man a shot. There's so many ladies out there that are giving certain men a shot, right? And it's wild. And actually, I'm going to show one of the ladies that know ladies like that, because you ladies need to learn.
Debate time. Should a man make more than the woman in a hetero relationship? I personally don't think it matters at all as long as both people are working and contributing some sort of income. But this is a common thing I hear from single women at dating events. But in my personal life, all of my girlfriends that I'm really close to, they make more than their partners. And I'm the only one that makes less than their husband. I'd love to hear your thoughts on how this comes up in your experiences, your dating life, and what your preferences are.
I'm a 30-year-old single black female prioritizing gut health and protein intake. I can squat 250. I've written 2 books and speak 3 different languages. In the last 6 months alone, I've created 4 different applications and 2 different programs across the iOS platform.
Are we caring about that?
Not to mention, I started diversifying my financial portfolio at 23.
Look, man, ladies, I mean, we done tried to tell y'all and tell y'all and tell y'all, but I'm not gonna say the obvious. But close your eyes and pretend the voice that you hearing that just gave that description had a couple of, and just pretend it was some octaves lower than that pitch. Like, would you be turned off by that if that was a man describing himself? If you asked him, like, what, tell me about yourself, and that's what he gave you? Like, would you be attracted to that description from that man? No, you wouldn't. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, men don't care about degrees, blah, blah, because men do care about this stuff. It's just not the only thing. And then these women, these types, make it their entire personality. And like I've said a million times before, y'all don't like men who do this, who make money, who make their stock portfolio, who make their careers, who make their cars, or whatever the case may be. The fact that they might play a sport, like, y'all don't like men who make that their entire personalities, right? So why the would men like a woman that make those types of things, accomplishments, money, whatever, their entire personalities? Fuck all these think pieces, blah. Like, it's literally that simple. And y'all understand this because when it's a man doing the same exact thing, you're turned off. You guys like to say, oh, he just sounds like he's overcompensating for something, right? She's trying to convince herself why she's not in a relationship. But hey, man, she became the man she always wanted.
She sure did. And a lot of them are, right? And you know what's happening is they don't see, they think this is okay. Why? Because the echo chambers, right? She's doing this because other girls are going to look at this video. And I bet you, if you look down in the comments, oh, you go, girl. You told them they better put some respect on it. Put some respect. No. Men don't put no respect on it. Men are leaving. That's what they're doing. Men are hanging up on it. Men are walking away on it. But they're not putting respect on it. Right? Hey, don't you always a girl say that? Put some respect. No. Men are not doing that. And some ladies are starting to realize, but I think more of you need to understand. Because until then, everything will remain chopped. Or more guys will go overseas. But I know a lot of guys really can't. They got to make their money. And that's why I always show guys how to get it online. And I do what I do. I teach guys what I do. That what I've been doing for so many years for only $100. It's definitely worth it.
I don't care what y'all say. I am speaking from experience. The girls with nothing to offer get the most. I don't know why, but them a flat purse. They love them a flat pocket. They hate the girls with their own money. I feel as though that they hate the girls with their own money because you cannot buy the girls with their own money because they got their own pay. But the girls that got the flat purse and the flat pocket, them you could cheat on them, dog them out the worst. All you gotta do is come with a little Chanel bag, a little Gucci bag, and they gonna forget all about it. But the girls with their own money that don't get realistic, you can't do that with them because they could buy that themselves. All they want is the real vibe, loyalty, and the real love. And most of y'all niggas can't provide that. Y'all can only provide gifts.
Lies, right? They can't provide it for themselves because those girls that are making money, not all of them, but a lot of them are living check to check, right? When they make more, they spend more. So if they're making, 1,000 a week, let's say, or 2,000 a week, they may be spending 1,500. Why? Because they're gonna say, "Oh, I can afford this now. I can afford that Benz now. I make 8,000 a month. Yeah, I can afford that. I can afford this. Oh, I can get that new apartment. That brand new apartment in the sky. Everything is a Jefferson's every day. Moving on up to the east side. Men don't do the same thing. We're cut from a different cloth. Yeah, we may take a vacation or two, but we're not going to spend that much. We're not trying to go to Turks and Caicos, right? We'll take a little trip somewhere on the islands, Barbados, keep it cheap, book a nice, decent, cheap flight, right? That's how we do, right? We don't go and ball out and take the most expensive. You want to go to Turks and Caicos. Now you want to eat lobsters and shrimps on a boat and think you want to live like Drake. Oh, I seen Drake eating this, so I seen Beyonce and Jay-Z eat this on Turks and Caicos, so I'm gonna eat that. No, they're not doing it. But yeah, that's what happens. Get wasteful, so they don't have the money. Plus, men don't want them because they've been everywhere, and a lot of times, men don't want a girl that did everything. Why? Because a lot of times she probably did everybody. That goes along with it. And that's spooky.
out earning men for the first time in history. That's according to a new report called The Lost Boys, which essentially says that young women, so we're talking ages 16 to 24, are now consistently out earning young men of the same age. And I don't think we can underestimate how significant this report might be. Now look, before we go into the numbers, it's worth saying this does not mean we've solved sexism in the workplace, right? There's still plenty of ways in which women are discriminated at work. However, it does feed into the narrative of how much young men seem to be struggling in society at the moment and how important it is that we recognize that. So if we look into the numbers, in 2020-2021, young men were earning just over 24,000 on average, and young women were actually lagging behind around 23,000. However, since then, we've seen young men's salaries stay flat, still on average earning around 24,000, but young women massively leaped that to over 26,500. We're seeing similar in the unemployment rates, with young women unemployment rate of 3.8%, but young men up at 7.1%. And it's just really important that we recognize that this is a group in society who are really starting to struggle, and it's so important that they do get the support that they need. So like I said, I think this is a really significant report, one that we shouldn't take lightly, because it does feed into the narrative of what we're basically seeing in regards to politics, education, engagement, family value, whatever it might be. We are seeing this group in society seem to be struggling, and that certainly seems to be applying to work in life as well.
That many men have a problem with women that have a higher salary bracket.
If the money you make changes your attitude towards men, it's not the fact that you make that amount of money, it's the fact that you're with that amount of money.
I've been conditioned so long to believe that all you have to bring to a relationship is financial. So when they don't have that, and the woman steps up and says, well, I have finances, what else do you have? And they don't have anything else. No communication. They can't talk, they can't cook, they can't clean. So really it's because they realize that they're the in the situation.
People keep on tagging me saying, like, look how you acted. You proved his point. Like, you were aggressive. You screamed. You were a in that video. And I guess I owe a couple people an apology. First, I want to apologize to myself for not going harder. I don't think he lied at all. Can successful women be absolutely, just like successful men can be or cheaters. Let's explore some other reasons. Was she a to you? Did she yell at you? Did she scream at you? Or did society tell you that the only thing that you needed in this dating world was to be successful and to have money, and then you'd have more options? Which is true, but some of those options aren't impressed by money and want you to come with a little bit more, and you find that annoying, repulsive, irritating, and that's why you think she's a Was she a or did she tell you that she wanted to go to this restaurant but you couldn't afford it, so you made a small little joke like, well, can you even afford it? And she said yes. So now you're about to file bankruptcy over some bang bang shrimp. Was she a or were you jealous of her? You don't know that men get jealous of women until you date a jealous man. And you realize that no matter what you accomplish, you'll always reduce it down to the fact that you're just pretty, that's why you got that promotion, or who'd you have to sleep with, or there's more programs and resources out there for women than there are for men. Any excuse in the book to minimize your accomplishment and let you know that the only reason you have more than me is because you were given it. How somebody makes you feel is always going to be important. Feelings and emotions will always be important. But just because he left you and got with another girl doesn't mean he's a narcissist. Just because she's successful and has more money than you doesn't make her a bitch. Just because she's assertive and knows what she wants doesn't make her a bitch. Just because she questions your program because she's been on her own program for a long time and it's been working, so she's questioning yours, doesn't mean that she's a bitch. I'm tired of hearing just every woman is like that. Give me some examples. I want some stories like, yeah, I went to this restaurant with her and I got declined and she pulled out her card and said, that's why I got 4 degrees and more money than you, little Like, give me an example of like what she did to you. Stories do not be like that. They be like, I told her I didn't get paid till Friday, so I asked if she wanted to have our first date in my apartment and she said no. So I think she's aggressive and too assertive. And I think women in the comments that were coming at me crazy, I don't want you to change your perspective about anything, okay? Stand on that. Because everybody needs somebody, and you're the perfect type of somebody for that type of man.
When she did that little explanation, she explained the guy saying, let's have dinner in my apartment, right? But that could have been, I can't do it right now. Let me take you out for a coffee. And that would have happened. Or say if he said, he wouldn't say let's have it in my apartment because he knows that that's going to, I don't know you yet. Why would a guy come with that, right? So, but let's go for coffee. I can do coffee right now. I don't got it right now. I don't do coffee, Dad. You a broke one. I can't deal with broke men.
Dating men that are not on your level in life yet. That shit is nothing but a recipe for disaster and heartbreak. I say that because a man is naturally made to lead and to provide. He's naturally the one who is supposed to be in control. The second that he realizes that you have more money than him, that you'll be okay without him, that you will not die if he left you today, he is not going to like that. The second that he realizes that your confidence is through the roof, he is going to try to tear you down to the point where you don't even love him or yourself anymore. And that is what we do not want. No, babe. Nothing but a disaster waiting to happen. Trust me. Been there, done that, honey.
Answer's coming.